You're listening to the Let's Go Buffalo podcast, your new favorite podcast for everything Bills and Sabres. What's going on, everybody? You're listening to the Let's Go Buffalo podcast with the pals Nigel, Tom, and Jake. Episode 5 coming at you. Tom, how we doing on this fine Wednesday, pal?
You guys smell that? You smell that? That's
smell what I'm stepping in?
NFL. That's NFL football coming in hot, boys. It's week 1. We did it. We made it through the long, dark summer of nothingness.
Yeah, the dark summer. Nice.
Yeah, dude. I'm good. I'm good, man.
Awesome. Good. Jake, how about you, pal?
I'm bad. Tom, I have a bone to pick with you. You come on this podcast the last 2 episodes like, oh, it's getting cold, it's fall, and now it's 90 degrees outside. But I agree with you. Football season's here, and I'm excited about that. And you can't be mad about the heat when it's almost football season. So no, I'm good, too.
I'll take that. No, I think I had that coming my way. Yeah.
Back to you, Nige. How you doing?
Dude, I'm hanging in there, man. Tom and I are teachers, and we have kicked off our school year, so we've got that stuff going on. That's it's just the beginning of the year. We're both music teachers, ironically enough, and like the beginning of the year for a music teacher is just like it's a different breed, man. Like not that anyone's beginning of the year is easy by any stretch of the imagination, but man, it is just like the organizing of lesson schedules and this and this, and it's just busy work out the wazoo, dude.
Just a deluge of details straight to the face.
Yep, that is correct.
Here we are.
Yep,
we got football coming though. So
yeah, we do. That'll help to ease the pain a little bit. Well, fellas, what do you say? Should we open ourselves a beverage?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
I'm waiting for you to ask.
Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, Jake. Let's start with you, buddy. What are you drinking?
Yes, sir. I'm drinking a beer from Threes Brewing in Brooklyn called Beyond the Void, which is where I'm hoping it takes me.
Nice. Tom, how about yourself?
Goodbye, Jake. See you later. I'm drinking a Zero Gravity, a Burlington-based beer. Ooh, man, the alliteration is just flowing tonight. I like it.
Yeah, dude, you're on it, which is not
it's a Pilsner, and it's an Italian style of Pilsner, so I'm not going to attempt to say the name. So I think you probably want to.
No,
ready?
No, you're not getting away with that.
Go ahead, Tom.
Right. Pozzolino Birra Pilsner. I'm so sorry for anybody of Italian descent. I have Italian descent, so I kind of lost my card there, so I apologize. But
yeah, no,
I hope it's good. I've never tried it before. Here we go. Get
involved, pal. Well, boys, you'll be glad to know I finally have a different beer. I am enjoying. It's actually, you guys ever heard of Omission?
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude. Those are the gluten-free beers. Oh, Jake, you probably know because of Megs. Yeah, dude. Like, it's the IPA Omissions are like really, really, really good, man. And they had a 6-pack that was on sale that I saw, so I grabbed that. Yeah, so I'm drinking a nice.
Is there a run line? Or is it just IPA? Is there like a name of the style, like the run?
They all just have different, like the bottles and cans are all different colors. So like the green ones are IPAs, the blue ones I want to say are like a Pilsner.
That's cool.
Yeah,
it's a yellow one
very
too.
Cool.
I think, right?
Say again.
There's a yellow one that I think's like a wheat ale.
Yeah,
maybe?
wheat ale, or maybe it's
sounds
like,
good.
Like a pale ale or something. I don't know, but yeah, they make some nice beers, man. You would think that maybe gluten-free beers aren't gonna get the job done, but that's not so much the case. So
yeah, good ones out there.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to start off this evening with just a little bit of Sabres talk. I was just telling the guys pre-show, we kind of jumped the gun a little bit last week because we talked about pretty much everything that there is to talk about in the Sabres world. We just got too excited. So there's not going to be too much. A couple dates here to start with, just to keep in mind. The Prospects Challenge is going to be from September 15th to the 18th. That's going to be at Harbor Center in Buffalo. And then the Sabres' first preseason game is going to be September 24th. We do not have a date yet for training camp. But yeah, that's as far as dates go, that's all we have for you right now. Jake, we are getting rumors on a contract extension that could be coming. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I saw that from Andrew Peters of the After the Whistle podcast.
Shout out.
Shout out Andrew Peters. He's no stranger to breaking some news around Buffalo. He's clearly has some kind of pull or connection in the front office still. So I do put a little bit of stock into it, I think, but acknowledging at the same time that it is just a rumor. But yeah, so what he said was 10.5 million a year for Darlene extension. And I think I saw something that they are waiting until training camp opens to announce that. So just kind of some optics there maybe from the team. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good number. I think that'd be a great contract. It's kind of what we talked about last time, Nige. Like, I think we'd both be pretty happy with that number. But do you have any different thoughts?
No, there was a part of me that was hoping we'd get him at 10 even, but 10 and a half is, I mean, he deserves every dime of it. He's I think in the next couple of years he's going to be a Norris caliber defenseman. So the Norris Trophy, Tom, um, is awarded to the best defenseman each season.
Oh, cool. All right.
So
let's go Darlene.
Yeah,
I think
there's a good chance. You think this year?
I'm not saying he wins it this year, but I'm saying I think starting this year and for the next many years, he'll be a prime candidate. Yeah.
He's in the conversation. Sweet. Yeah.
Can you guys give some context? Is he on his rookie deal right now, waiting to get assigned his first big deal, or where is he at?
So Darlene signed what we call in the hockey world a bridge deal. So a bridge deal is exactly what it sounds like. It's a bridge between your entry level contract and your potential big ticket paycheck, or big ticket contract. So it's kind of just like a prove it. Like we see it, we see the potential, but we're not positive that it's going to come through just yet. So we want to see you for the next 3 years at 6 million, and then if you crush it at that, that's pretty much what they did with Dowles. His bridge deal was 6.5, something like that, and it sounds like he's going to be signing for around 10.5 soon.
I think
that's a pretty. That's a pretty team friendly deal, then, huh? Like the play, like that's not really going in the player's favor, right? To not sign a big deal now, like.
Yeah, but
it's a gamble too.
Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
It's a gamble for the player for sure, taking a bit less. But if they come out and perform well in those years, and it's a top rated prospect like Darlene, if he comes out and crushes it, he's going to push that dollar value up for himself if he plays out that bridge deal.
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about with Owen Power too, where we could lock him up long term at maybe 7-8 million, but the player might not want to agree to that because he's betting on himself to come out and prove that he's a 10-11 million dollar player down the line.
Yeah, so it's not like they're getting paid nothing, but it's not a big deal yet. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yep. Sweet.
All right, let's go Darlene.
Yeah, let's go Dallas, baby. All right, so that's it. That's all we got for you for Sabre stuff. We're gonna go Sabres. We are gonna switch it on over to our beloved Buffalo Bills, as this will be our last recording before the Bills play again. No, maybe that's not true. No, probably not true, actually, is it?
Yeah, no, they're playing Monday, and we usually record after that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, this is it. It's game week. This is game prep, pals.
Yeah.
So there was 3 announcers started. Not 3 announcers. Oh, my God.
Oh my
3
gosh.
players announced.
There's your episode title.
You're welcome. I would like all the audience members to know that I am just fodder for ridiculous things to come out of my mouth. So I don't know why either of these two thought they'd want to do a podcast with me, except maybe just for entertainment value. But
easy titles.
Yeah, there it is. So 3 specific starters were announced this morning by Sean McDermott in a press conference that I want to get a quick one-word reaction to from Nigel and Jake, if you want to chime in. So, and then we'll go back and talk about it, but I just want the initial reaction, Nigel. Terrell Bernard announced as starting linebacker next to Matt Milano.
Better.
Okay. Christian Benford announces starting quarterback opposite Tre'Davious White.
Deserved.
Yeah, I agree. And then Osiris Torrance announced as starting right guard.
I'm going to cheat a little bit. Road grader.
All right, there we
It's
go.
hyphenated, right? I
I'll
think
give
that
it to you.
counts.
Yeah, we can hyphen that. We can smash those letters together, no problem.
Sweet.
So, of those three, which are you most excited about? And well, how about this? Actually, let's start with which are you most concerned about, Nige?
Oh, definitely Bernard. I think what we're doing right now is choosing the lesser of two evils in him and Tyrell Dodson. So I'm okay with that. It's a passing league. I think it's going to behoove the defense to have the better coverage linebacker in the starting position than it is going to be to have the run stuffer in there. So I think you picked the just the lesser of two evils there. So, but that being said, you lose a lot in run defense with Bernard. So that definitely makes me nervous. But you know, it's the lesser of two evils. And then the only thing I'll say in addition is I think this is just a band-aid until Christian Kirksey is completely onboarded with this defense.
Can I ask a quick question about it's Bernard is the starting linebacker, right?
Yes, he
Yep.
was named the starter.
Just maybe there's nothing, but what sets him apart being better at coverage as compared to a more run focused linebacker? Is it like his physicality traits, or is it positioning, brain? Like what lends to a better coverage linebacker compared to another?
Go
You're
ahead,
kind of
Tom.
nailing it. Jake. It's kind of both of those, where the player's body type will definitely dictate what they can maybe be more predisposed to being good at. You know, it doesn't mean that they have to be good at that, but it helps them. He's a smaller player. He's lighter on his feet. And can definitely move faster. So if you're smaller, right, you're going to move faster. So that's a big checkbox on for him. And also, it is how you approach the game. Are you able to read what wide receivers are doing and react, right, and follow and stay in coverage, stay in stride, and be able to play it that way. So I think he's obviously proven something to this coaching staff that's what he deserves to do. And yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what it is, right? Again, he's playing opposite Matt Milano. Like, what a guy to play with. Like, he's gonna have a great running mate, and let's see.
What is Milano better at if you had to pick one, coverage or run blocking?
He is
both. Everything.
He is an elite coverage linebacker. Like, he is
Correct.
one of the best in the NFL, and him playing on the weak side, so he's on the opposite side of the play where he's able to flow and follow the ball and go basically play see ball, get ball, and he's able to be a much more reactionary player and instinctual. And man, he locks that up. He's very good at that, and I cannot wait to see more of that.
Yeah. And what about our dearly departed Tremaine Edmonds? Where was his strengths?
Coverage.
Being a pterodactyl.
Yeah, just being an absolute alien in the center of the field.
Coverage. So yeah, his size and length and ability to read coverages and play in space was huge. He was a very great zone defender where he could cover large spaces of the field. He was weak against when he had to play man coverage and follow and track a player, right? That's where Patrick Mahomes diced him up every time he throws the ball to Travis Kelce, right? That was the problem. One thing that Tremaine Edmonds struggled with. And honestly, what we heard from both Brandon Beane and the linebackers coach over the offseason that they wanted to try and remedy. They wanted to find a pair of linebackers that are better in coverage. So I think that kind of, we got priced out of Tremaine Edmonds. Like, there's no way we could pay him $18 million that he got with Chicago. And B, it sounds like they were interested in going with a different style of player.
One interesting thing here, real quick, to go back to Dodson and Bernard. So Bernard's RAS score, his relative athletic score, was 8.89. You might recall that score is out of 10. And then Dodson's is 6.55. So a significant drop off there in terms of the athleticism.
Yeah. I think someday we gotta do that raw athletic score for the three of us.
No, I don't think we should do that. I do not.
That's
think
gotta
we
be a
should do
segment.
I get called a 2 by enough women. I don't need a score to tell me that, dude. Come on.
that.
But to bring it back, so he gets announced as the middle linebacker. Can I talk about Osiris Torrance and being
Yeah.
excited about him? I think that's great that he made the starting roster. Do you guys feel good about it?
I
For all, go ahead,
yeah,
Nice.
yes, yeah, I am. I am excited. You because we've seen it now, right? Like we saw in the preseason where he played really well. He looked good. I just I get Cody Ford flashbacks, and for those of you that might not know, Cody Ford was a second round pick, offensive lineman that Brandon Bead made. I don't remember what year it was. Was it 2018, Tom? Or maybe
Something
it might
like
have been
that.
the same year as Josh. I don't even know. Right
I
around
think
there,
it was the year
2017,
after. I think
2018.
it was the year after. I think it was 2018.
So it would have been 2018 then. Second round pick. He ended up just being an insanely huge bust. And ever since then, I just have concerns with Brendan Bean drafting offensive linemen. Spencer Brown still has a major question mark that sits above him. He hasn't looked the way that we hope he will. So I don't know, man. That one's kind of tough. But we've seen good play from him in the preseason, which makes me feel good. So yes, be excited.
Yeah.
But he's also a very different player than Cody Ford, right? Cody Ford had lead feet. Osiris Torrance doesn't have that. From all I've heard and all we've seen, we haven't seen that stuff, right? I think he definitely has the ability to come in and play. I also think so. I think this is a big check mark for people saying that Sean McDermott doesn't play starters. Yeah, we're playing doesn't play rookies. We're playing Osiris Torrance at guard, and we're playing Dalton Kincaid at tight end. Like, absolutely, we have these contributing rookies, and I think he will be. I think it's going to be great for him to play next to Mitch Morse, one of the best centers in the game. And I think I'm excited for him. I also think I really think it was an indicator of Ryan Bates being more valuable to the team as a pinch hitter, as a swing tackle, being the first man off the bench for all these other positions. And Osiris Torrance might not necessarily been ready and able to do that. So I think that also speaks to Ryan Bates being, having that versatility. But I think it also means that Osiris Torrance clearly earned that job and would not be starting if the coaching staff did not believe in it.
Fun question here for you, Tom. I'm gonna knock on wood first and foremost. Let's say Deion Dawkins goes down. Who's coming in off the bench? Is it Vandermark? Whoa. Is it Vandermark or is it Bates? I don't know the answer.
I don't know. I think so. My gut says Bates just because that's what we've seen happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, maybe they're holding Bates for being because he's definitely the next man off the bench for center.
Yep,
So
for sure.
maybe they want to hold on to him for that. I don't know.
I'm pretty confident that David Edwards might go in for left guard, but everything from and including the center to the right, Ryan Bates, I think, is the first guy off the bench.
Right, which maybe leans more on Ryan Vandermark's kind of camp there. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, anyway,
Let's find out. We're gonna have to see.
we are going to see.
Hopefully not
aren't
too
we?
often though. Hopefully not too often though.
Yeah. Good point.
This is
And we
the
knocked on
season.
wood, so we're
Everybody's
fine.
gonna be healthy. We're putting it out there. We've had a unhealthy streak, and it's time to swing back in our favor. Here we go, boys. Here we
Pat
go.
McAfee, I think on his Monday pod, said he
Yep.
spoke to the football gods, and the football gods said all the ligaments good to go, all the muscles solid, tendons, bones, everything's good. The football gods told McAfee no injuries this year, so I
None.
guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll take
Let's
it.
go.
Yep.
I'll follow the gospel of McAfee. Here we go.
Yeah, for sure, dude. One of my favorites. All right, Jake, are you going to lead us through our next little segment here?
Yeah, talk about the Bills record, talk about the schedule, road bumps, easy stretches, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to run through the schedule game by game. And what Tom and Nigel are going to do is talk about whether a game is a gotta win game. There's no excuses. It's got to be a W. A should win game, that middle category where, if things go right, they should be winning that game. But if things go a little sideways, you could see it not happening. And then the final category, the can win games. Not to spoil anything, but the games against the Kansas Cities, the Bengals, the Eagles, things like that. Teams that are going to really test the Bills' mettle, where we want them to show up in those games and beat good teams, but acknowledging that they're a big challenge. So with that said, what do you say, fellas? Should we jump in?
Hit us.
Ugh. Yes.
All right. Week 1, going to MetLife on September 11th against the Jets in New York. How are we feeling about taking down Aaron Rodgers and the Jets?
This is so difficult right off the bat.
I know this is a tough one.
This is
The New
like
York Football Jets.
I
Man, I think this is a should win. I think this is the middle column. I think we should win it because we are clear. We are the reigning division champions. We are the team coming in with the answers. The Jets are a lot of unknowns, right? They're still a fresh team being put together. They have not played an entire game together. I think we're definitely catching Aaron Rodgers and the Jets at the right time at the beginning of the season here, right where they need to be. The ball's in their court, right? They need to come in locked in to come play this serious, put together Bills team. My vote is for should win.
Yeah, you could make a case for me for either should win or can win, dude. I seem to be of our group of buds. I seem to be the highest on the Jets, man. They just I don't know, man. They scare me, dude, especially that defense. I mean, like how's Osiris Torrance going to fare against Quentin Williams? You know,
Yeah.
that's a matchup that scares me. So, but I could also see the case for should win. So, I can concede to you on this one, Tom. Let's go should win for the Jets.
How long would you guys say it takes for a quarterback to settle into a new system? Is it a game? I mean, obviously it depends on the quarterback, but are we talking a month? Are we talking a week? Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I would say if you were going to put an average on it, and I put a major asterisk around average, probably I would say 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks of the regular
Yeah.
season.
There are still some quarterbacks who haven't settled into their system, right? Like they're so. I mean, it depends, but I'd give it a couple weeks. I mean, honestly, there's benefit to a whole year being had, right? Like Josh Allen now had an entire year in Ken Dorsey's offensive system. Like I'm excited to see that. Hopefully, he's much more comfortable. All the answers are going to be there. We have new weapons to be had. Like, man, I think this game is going to be very much about getting the ball out quickly and neutralizing Quinnen Williams up front. Like, I think that's what their offensive game plan is going to be. And he's a wrecking ball in the middle of that Jets D line. So I think that's going to be their game of how do we neutralize that threat. And I think it's going to be you're going to see the ball come out really quick, at least at the beginning of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, we're talking a lot on all these. This is gonna be a long one, so I'm gonna be less wordy here. Hit us with the next one, Jake.
That's all right. Hey, this is the week 1 opening game. It's worthy of discussion. But from there, we go back to Buffalo and have our home opener Sunday, September 17th against the Raiders. How are we feeling about Josh Jacobs and crew coming to town?
Gotta win.
Yeah, that's a gotta win for me too.
No problem. Raiders are a flailing organization that's gonna gotta win.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And who's their quarterback now? It's someone new, right?
Is it Jimmy?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
He finally came back from injury and has been cleared to play, and he's been in there, and he's gonna have to show up to prove it. So we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Old Jimmy Jams. All right, from there, we're heading down to our nation's capital, playing the Commanders on the 24th, which I look forward to watching with you gentlemen in person, not at the stadium, but together in Vermont.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about the Commanders? That's got to be, not to take your thunder, but that's got to be a win, right?
Yeah, that's a gotta win for me as well, for sure. That's a team that, while should be notably better this year, defensively just doesn't scare me. Their offense could do some things. They have Sam Howell, the rookie quarterback, who looks like he could be solid. You have a new offensive coordinator in Eric Bieniemy. But as exciting as that could be, it also could be tough, right? Because I just said rookie quarterback and new offensive coordinator. So
this Bills secondary eats rookie quarterbacks for lunch.
Yeah,
so
they do.
Good luck. Have fun.
And
do your homework, Sam Howell. Come to town, buddy.
Wait, what did you say?
We're going to his town.
What did you say the OC's name is?
Eric Bieniemy.
I heard Eric the enemy, and I was like, yes, get him. Get him.
No, former Chiefs offensive coordinator.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to week 4. We are playing Miami Dolphins in Buffalo on Sunday, October 1st. Thank God this early season game against Miami is in Buffalo and not in the swamp.
Yeah,
So
thank
happy
God.
about
Yeah.
that. But it's a tough team. What do you guys think the Bills do against them for that Week 4 game?
Go ahead, Tom.
I think it's a should win. I'm going to put it in the same category as the Jets. I think both the Jets and the Dolphins are going to be very competitive teams. We have been really good against our division the last few years.
Yep.
This is probably going to be the year where we may drop more games than we have to our division mates. So I think it's a should win. I think we clearly will have like the upper hand, but it's going to be one that we have to show up and play. Like it's gonna be a brawl.
Yep. Yeah, man. I'll go with should win on this one as well. I'm in agreement there. It's it's really just going to be if we can manage to neutralize Waddle and Hill. And it's I don't know, man. That makes me nervous, but Tua as a player does not. He does not scare me. But those two wide receivers absolutely do. So if you neutralize, even if you can mostly neutralize one of them, I think we win that game.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, from there on Sunday, October 8th, the Bills travel to foggy old London town to play the Jacksonville Jaguars at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So a cheeky little game in London, eh?
Hey,
How you feeling about Trevor Lawrence and the Jags?
this to me, I'm gonna put this in the should win column, and I only say that because while Jacksonville is a notably improved team as well this year, um, we don't seem to do well when we travel a far distance. Like we don't like going and playing on the West Coast, and I don't imagine. I just don't see this team playing well after a trip into London. It makes me a little bit nervous. So I think that's a game where we could stoop to the level of our opponent. Not that Jacksonville's level is super low, but Buffalo's is just higher. So I'm
Yeah,
going to put that in the should win for me.
I agree. I think there is Jaguars are going to be there for 2 weeks in a row. They're playing. I don't know who they're playing the week before us, but they're staying in London. So my hope is that they're all a little sick of the food and the gloomy weather, and they're ready to go home and aren't ready and fired up for this game. That's going to be going our favor. But I agree, it should be a should win. We absolutely should be in this game, and we should be the favorites. And but it's something that it's gonna be that offense is gonna be tough to neutralize. So
They are playing the Falcons the week before in London.
yeah, so they're staying for 2 weeks. The Jaguars seem to be the team that's always playing in London. I don't know what what deal that GM has with those London stadiums or something, but he's always over there.
Every
No,
year.
Our
I've
owner.
talked to a lot of London-based people, and the Jaguars, for whatever reason, are a very popular team in the UK.
Well, of course.
I can't tell you why, but well, it's
Yeah,
because
that
they
makes
play there
sense.
every year too.
Exactly.
But before that, I mean, the NFL did their research. They're not sending teams over to London to play without knowing who's gonna
Yeah, who's gonna
bring
draw?
tickets. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why. I think maybe a lot of Londoners just like going to Jacksonville, Florida for vacation. But I digress. I digress. So from there, we're traveling back stateside and hosting the New York Giants on Sunday Night Football. Big stage, pretty lights. How you guys feel about the Giants coming to town?
Oh man.
It's gonna be a game, but I think that's a should win or a
It's a
gotta win.
yeah.
I think it's a gotta win.
You think it's a gotta win,
I
Tom?
think it's a gotta win. I think it's a young Giants team. They are with the. I think Brian Dable is going to have a homecoming, and I'm excited to see him. But I think it's a gotta win. That offense is not going to be an issue, and we're going to be fine.
I don't know, man. Danny Dimes last season, he had some moments where I was like, this doesn't look like the Danny that I know and love.
Yeah, I'll give that to you. He's definitely shown it, and I think he's got to grow. I think he's going to grow. He just got paid, right? So maybe he's ready to go make up that paycheck he just got. So I could be convinced for should win. I just feel like half our games are going to more than half our games are going to be in should win.
Yeah. All right. Let's say we got to beat the Giants. It's Dable, right? We got to beat Dable at our own house.
It's primetime game, national stage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in.
Cool.
All right, traveling on the road, week 7 October 22nd against the New England Patriots.
Gotta.
Ooh. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. Gotta win.
Automatic gotta.
See ya.
Just because of the opponent.
Lock it up. Yep. No, it's gonna be not. That's gonna be of the divisional games. Those are the ones we can win.
Next.
Yes, sir. Heading back to Buffalo to play Tampa Bay. Thursday night football game, 8:15 on the 26th of October.
Under the
How are you feeling
lights.
about the Bucks?
That's a gotta for me as well.
No
Just
problem.
trash Baker Mayfield back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be a game. Hopefully, we see some flashes. Hopefully, it'll be a good game. And but I think that's gonna be no problem. Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
That's a roster that has seen a lot of bad turnovers since they won a Super Bowl. So I'm good there.
Fair enough. All right, this next one I do want to dive into a little bit more. It's another primetime game, Sunday night football on the road in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Lost in the playoffs to them last year. Talk to me about that game. Talk to me about what maybe the Bills learned and how that game might be different or the same as the playoffs last year.
I can go ahead, Tom.
This game is going to be determined if our offense can get some rhythm. If we can figure out how to play against that Bengals defense, who are incredibly multiple. So what I mean by that is that this defense and this defensive coordinator specializes in making things look different almost every drive. They come out and they play you differently. So you think that you know what's happening, but you don't, right? They are changing. They're playing you differently. They're very stunt heavy. So there's lots of different trickery. It's not just, we're not playing a very simple game plan. They're doing things to get different looks and to get different, put a lot of stress on the offense to have to function and read what's happening. So if our offense, hopefully by this week, I mean, what a week are going to be in? Week 9, you said?
Week 9, yes, sir.
Like, hopefully by then, this offense is really, we're feeling ourselves. We're humming. We got some rhythm. And we can go in and we can score. This is going to be a shootout. This is going to be a 32-29 game. This is going to be a high scoring game. And if we can come in and play, I think we can do it.
Hammer the over.
Yeah, hammer the over on that one. That's going to be high scoring. I don't think this is going to be taking the under there. So what do you think, Nige?
So, oh man, this is still a tough one. This for me, dude, and this might be contrary to what you might typically think. This is a gotta win for me because we got absolutely fucking humiliated in the playoffs against these guys. That was the most lifeless I have seen the Bills look in quite some time on both sides of the ball. Blame who you want. I don't care. I think everybody has an equal share in it. I mean, the game plan sucked. I think the execution sucked. It was flat out embarrassing as a fan that night or that day, whenever they played.
Did not feel good. That was like one that sat in your gut.
Yeah. So I need to see some redemption. This is a gotta win game for me.
Okay. All right.
But I'm going to push back a little bit.
Yeah,
take the emotion out of it. I think the Bengals are such an excellent quality team in the AFC. There's a lot that could go wrong in that game. And I'm not saying that that's a preferred outcome, but I don't know if when I hear gotta win, this is such an inferior opponent that the Bills should thrash them no matter what. And I don't know if I see that with the Bengals.
Okay. So maybe we should have set some context rules for the categories then as well, because the way I interpret
I like the rule bending. This is good. Outside the box.
The way I had gotta win in my head was like kind of, I guess, twofold. Was exactly what you said, Jake. Like, this opponent is inferior, and just an important game for whatever reason. I think this game is super important for emotion, and more importantly, I think this game is super important to potentially lock up the 1 seed down the road at the end of the season. But I also get exactly what you're saying, Jake, in that they are not an inferior opponent at all. And in terms of that, it is a can-win game for sure.
I'll go either way. We just had different ways of interpreting.
My vote, I'm going to be the swing vote here. I think we go in the can-win column only because we're going to try and use this as like a record prediction of, can this be one we win or not? So it gotta win means like it's a guarantee we're winning this, and I don't think it is. I agree with you, Nige. All of your points are 100% valid, and I'm in your camp. But I think record prediction wise, I think we got to go can win.
I just don't understand why you guys always have to fucking gang up on me like that.
It's just, it's entertainment.
Fuck.
I like the creative thinking though. Keep going with that.
All
I
right.
do too. And I don't disagree with you. That's a gotta win game in the heart.
And also to really prove, like, that would make, if we can come in with a solid win, I would be like, okay, we can make a deep playoff run. We can play them. We can go toe to toe. It's like when we finally can beat the Chiefs, right? We've beat the Chiefs in the regular season. We're not gonna talk about that postseason. We're not gonna fucking go there. But we can do it during the regular season, and having those solid wins we've had against them in Arrowhead in the regular season has been nice.
Yep.
So
You
Cool.
got to go
I think
through
that
one
will
of
be a
them
good thing to prove as well. So let's put it in the can win column and let's keep rolling. What's next, Jake?
Next up is Week 10 against the Broncos. Monday Night Football in Buffalo. How we feeling about Russell Wilson riding his way into town?
Gotta win.
Welcome to town, Bucko. Buckle up.
Punch it. Punch that ticket.
Let's ride.
Next up, we're still in Buffalo. A little homestand going. This time hosting the Jets. So first repeat game of the year, if my count is correct.
Yep.
Yep.
We're going to this one too, boys.
We are
It'll be a
going to
good
this
time.
game.
I'm seeing right now it's a 4:30 start. I didn't realize that actually.
Yeah, we're playing the 4 o'clock slate.
That's a dangerous amount of tailgate time. But how do you guys feel about seeing the game? Who's winning that one?
I think we're going to trade games with the Jets. I'm sorry, Nige. I jumped over you, but I think we're going to trade. I think we're going to win one and we're going to lose one. I just don't know which one. Yep. I'm hoping that we win the first one just to have a strong start to the season. And if we drop this one at the game we're at, that would be also kind of stinky. But it'd be nice to win both since we're going to the second one. But I think this is a should win. I think it's we absolutely could be winning and sweep them in the division. But I think we're going to go 1-1 against them across. I just don't know which game is going to be which.
Yeah, this one, because of pretty much everything you just said, Tom, is a can win for me.
Okay.
I think by this point, Rodgers will have settled in. So that week 2, maybe in parentheses on the chart, but week 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Jets jumping on them early, like you said, Tom, would be good. They have a tough opening schedule from what I remember seeing. And so,
sit them down a little bit.
Sit them down.
Yeah.
Make their start hell and make them claw back if they're going to challenge for the division, like seemingly everyone seems to think. Sarcasm noted in my tone there, but let's move on, shall we? So away from home, heading to Philadelphia. This is a tough matchup from my eyes. It's the Boxing Day special right after Christmas. No, sorry, we're still in November. Oh man, boys, I'm sorry. November 26th, Philadelphia
Jake,
Eagles. I'm passing it to you guys. What do you think?
Man, this one is going to be an absolute can win. I think the X factor in this game for me is probably going to be Hassan Reddick versus Spencer Brown, because I think there's a really good chance that Hassan Reddick could just simply have his way with Spencer Brown, and Josh is going to be running for his life all day. I'm not saying that's a lock. I'm just saying that is something that very well could happen. That team, for my money, the Eagles are the best roster in the NFL. Jalen Hurts is insane. Great. You have an unreal 1-2 punch in wide receivers with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. A nice running back room. I think that team is absolutely scary.
That's going to be a tough one. And I think it's in the same bucket as the Bengals game of, man, if we can go in and we can show we can go toe-to-toe with this team, then that shows that we're ready for this playoff run. But that's a team, if we want to make a playoff run, that's a team we're going to see later on.
For sure.
They're definitely Super Bowl contenders, and they could be representing the NFC in the Super Bowl this year. So, yeah, I think can win. I agree.
Yeah. All right, so that was week 12. Week 13 is the bye week for the Bills. And while it doesn't play into the record, I do want to pause for a second and ask you guys, how do you feel about that? I know bye weeks happen anywhere from week, I think, 5 till 13 or 14. Do you prefer it to be a little later in the year? How do you feel about it being week 13 this year?
I love it.
Yeah, agreed. Love it. I think it gives the team that necessary break in the middle of the season. We've had early bye weeks the last couple seasons, and man, I bet the players like it. I bet it feels good to get their bodies some rest. But I think there's even statistics out there where teams that have later bye weeks have a better run through the playoffs because that team they get the rest, and it's statistically better to have that. So I'm happy for it.
Yep.
Good stuff. All right. Well, coming out of the bye week, no rest for the weary. You're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. December 10th at 4:30. At Arrowhead. What do you guys think? How do the Bills come out of the bye typically? I know I've seen stats on that, but I can't remember exactly what way they go, good or bad.
Not great.
Oh,
However, what's the record, Nige? You're right. We sometimes look flat, but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've won the majority of those games. They've looked flat.
I believe you're correct.
But we've won. And a win's a win is a win, right?
Yep.
So,
soap is soap is soap.
We're just spewing philosophy over here. I think this is definitely a can win, right? They're in the same category as the Bengals and the Eagles here. And we've gone into Arrowhead the last couple times we've been there, and we've gone toe to toe and really shut down games. I still remember sitting in that New York City bar with you, Jake, watching that last year's game, and Taron Johnson closing that game, picking Patrick Mahomes off quarter 4, last final drive to close that game. That was just
Yes, sir.
So
I remember a heroic catch from Dawson Knox too towards the end of the game.
Yeah,
and that bar just erupting. Shout out Kelly's in New York City.
Yeah, shout out Kelly's. Hey, if you want us to do a live podcast from Kelly's, we will.
100%.
All we're ask is for a bucket of Labatt's. That's all. And the other thing I want to just talk about is, when are we gonna have the Chiefs in Orchard Park? I always see Sal Capaccio go on Twitter, and he's explained it to me about why we always are going to Arrowhead. But let's play the Chiefs in Orchard Park. Come to Buffalo, baby.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs,
why
baby.
not in the regular? It's been like every regular season. We're always playing the Chiefs, and we're always going to Arrowhead. And I'm upset about it. Come to Buffalo. You have to come play with these fans.
Yeah, I don't remember why that is. It is a legitimate reason, though. It's just the way it shakes out.
It is, and there's going to be a couple years where they're gonna have to come to us, and it's just coming up here. But it's just felt like every freaking year, and I'm sorry, I get upset about it.
It is every freaking year, and that's you're upset about it, justifiably, because that is what happens. But yeah, I mean, it's a can win, and we all know why. There's 2 words, and those 2 words are Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, sir. All right. From there, we're back in Buffalo, Week 15 against the Cowboys, NFC opponent. From what I've heard, Cowboys have improved. What do you guys think?
That's a should win for me. They have improved, but it's a should win for me.
I'll go should win. I agree. I think they're going to be a good team. Their defense is deadly.
Tom just wrote should win in the document. He did not write Cowboys.
I did not write Cowboys. No, okay, the Cowboys. Trying to get me to talk and type. Yeah, that's
all right, Tom.
They're a good team. Like, they're definitely going to be an NFC contender, but I think we can take care of business.
Yep.
I literally choked. I'm sorry.
All right, you guys be without me. Do you know how many laughs you wouldn't have had without me?
Tom, my life would be sadder without you. That's a fact. All right, let's move on. We're traveling to SoCal and going to Justin Herbert's house, playing the Chargers. This one is the close to Christmas game that I was trying to get to, but it's a Saturday night game at 8 p.m. against the Chargers. As a quick aside, towards the end of the season, they space games out to be Saturday and Sunday. Am I reading that right?
Money. The NFL likes money.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They just want to earn more money and they get more advertisements. So yeah, they start doing some wild, like, it's not kind of like the wild card weekends where they, in the playoffs, they have Saturday and Sunday games. They just get a little antsy on that and start pulling that trigger a little earlier. So
I see. So how do you feel about the game against the Chargers?
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about.
You go first this time, Tom.
Man, I think this is a should win. That Chargers team is really good. Justin Herbert is a great quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of been put on the back burner because we're all so enamored with the Patrick Mahomes, the Joe Burrows, the Josh Allens. I think Justin Herbert's right there. He has not come out and had that breakout year like those players have. He had a great rookie season and then kind of has had some ebbs and flows the last two. But man, he's really good. So, and we're playing in their house. I think it's a should win. I think we are, and I'm leaning towards gotta win. I think we can take care of business, but I think it's a should win.
Yep, I'm in agreement with you. It's a should win. I mean, the receivers make me a little bit nervous. Keenan Allen's really good. Mike Williams is huge. We don't have really any big body, secondary players to compete with a guy like Mike Williams. Austin Eckler is going to get the ball a lot. That's going to be a time where I'm grateful that we have a guy like Terrell Bernard starting and not Dotson, because Eckler is going to catch a lot of balls. So, but yeah, that's a should win for me. Their defense, aside from Bosa and Derwin James, don't scare me a ton.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's move on to week 17, New Year's Eve game against our favorite team, the New England Patriots.
Boo!
Gotta next.
Yep. Move on.
Yes, sir. And then closing the year out back to back against division rivals, playing Miami, this time in Hard Rock Stadium. It's TBD on the date, but it'll be early January, so it should be a balmy 85 degrees still. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about closing the year out to the Dolphins?
I think, boy, the implications on this game could be massive, dude.
That could be for a playoff spot.
Yeah,
the
it
NFL
could
was
be.
smart at scheduling that game when they did. That could be for a wild card playoff spot right there.
It could be for the wild card. Could also be for the division.
Could be for the division. Could be for the number one seed.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
I think it's a should win, same as what we saw him earlier in the season.
Agreed.
I think it's, but hopefully at this point we're playing our best ball at the end of the season. So, I think that's going to be. I think that's a should win. I think we can take care of business, especially if something's on the line. I think we can come in. We're an experienced team who have had playoff runs, who have had some adversity. And this Dolphins team, other than two injuries, they haven't had that experience. So I think that's in our favor and would really help us along this kind of end of the season here.
Yeah.
So do you think similar to the Jets, where we split the set with the Dolphins and the Jets, or do you view one of those matchups as more in the Bills' favor or less?
The Dolphins it's a wash for me both weeks. They're both should wins. I don't feel better or worse about either point, really. Yeah. I think they're both, but they both should be wins ideally.
That's a team with a lot of injury concerns too, right? You don't know what that roster is going to look like
For sure.
at week 18.
Oh, absolutely. So cool.
So to wrap up, if by my count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 7 games in the gotta win category.
Okay.
We have 6 games in the should win category and 4 games in the can win territory. And those were the Bengals, the Eagles, the Chiefs, and 1 against the Jets. So I think that makes sense. So I'm going to put some pressure on you guys. Throw me a number. Win, loss. You can give me a range, but feel free. Tom, you want to kick us off?
I think at like a solid season for us is going to be 12-5. I think because we have 7 wins, right, of the gotta wins. Then of the should wins, there's 6. If we split those, we take 3 wins. That gives us 10. Then of the can wins, we split those and we get another 2. I think that gets us at 12. I think 12-5 is probably a very solid number for us to hit. I think we can push for 13 or 14, and we can also dip to 11 or 10. But I think even if we're down at 10, 11 wins, we're a playoff team playing for a wild card spot and could be in that. So I'm going to go for 12-5.
Nigel, how about you?
Yeah, I was worried this was going to happen. That is honestly my guess as well. I think the floor is probably 11-6.
Yeah.
I'll knock on wood as I say that just to be safe because I'm weird like that. I think it's possible. There's a world we could live in where the Bills get in as a wild card at 11-6, which normally any other year 11-6, that's probably a team that's winning their division. this AFC is just so stacked, dude. And not
Yeah,
to mention
problem.
this AFC East. I mean, it is just so tough. So yeah, my honest guess is also 12-5.
Yeah, my question was going to be: is 12 wins a division winning record? And it sounds like the answer is it depends. Depends on what everybody else does. Depends on injuries, that kind of thing. Just
Yeah,
got to ride out
dude.
the season. That's why you play the games, right?
Yep,
Which
that's
is
why you play
wild
them.
to say, right? It's wild to say that there could be multiple teams in one division with 12 wins. That means we're beating up on each other and then taking advantage of other teams, right? That's what that means.
Yep.
We could have we could have three teams. We could have the Bills, Jets, and Dolphins all being 11-6 going into the playoffs here, right?
Yeah.
Like we've all beaten up on it. Like that's a possibility, and which is wild. But we gotta, you gotta play the game to find out. So right now, we're the ones who have shown it, and we're the ones that they have to come take it from us. So let's go. Go Bills, baby.
Yep.
Yes, sir. So, all right, folks. So we're landing on 12-5 for a record prediction. It sounds like for our podcast consensus. So that's the prediction for the record. I think we should move on to some predictions for the season, per player, per game, whatever it might be. Tom, you want to explain what we're going to do here and take the first shot in the dark?
Absolutely. We have named this segment because we are just wordsmiths. The Bills' bold, baseless, bodacious predictions. So, what we'll do is just we have I have two. I don't know how many of these guys have, but just some predictions for the season of things that we think we're excited about. At least for mine, I'm excited about these. These are things I'm really looking forward to see, and I'm interested to see what these changes to this team and something that's going to be new here, and something that we're looking to see. So I'm gonna go with my two. Are you ready? I went a little bit of stat diving for this, and I went and got the correct stats instead of hockey stats, which I don't quite understand. So these are football stats, and I should be good to go. Mine first prediction is based around our lovely Dalton Kincaid. I think he's going to have an excellent season, and not only any excellent season, he's going to have one that's going to push for one of the best rookie tight end seasons ever. Let me throw a couple stats at you. The last three players who have had excellent rookie tight end seasons are Kyle Pitts in 2021, Evan Ingram in 2017, and then we're reaching a little bit here, but Jeremy Shockey back in 2002. These are some of the best rookie tight ends of the last 20 years. Yeah, we're Jake's eyes got real wide. We're digging deep, pal. That's another name, Jeremy Shockey. Great,
Jeremy Shockey sounds like my mechanic.
Yeah,
but I digress.
He was a stud. He played in New York for the Giants. He was a stud.
Probably a top 5 all-time tight end.
Oh, clearly, yes. So these guys all had excellent rookie seasons. These are their stats. Kyle Pitts, 2021, 68 receptions, 1,026 yards, 1 touchdown. Evan Ingram, 2017, 64 receptions, 722 yards, 6 touchdowns. Jeremy Shockey, 2002, 74 receptions, 894 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, I'm not going to call for Dalton Kincaid to come out and have a record-breaking best tight end season ever. I think that's really hard to do. Tight end is a really tough and slow developing position. However, I think he's going to come out and have a really strong showing as a rookie tight end. These are the stats that I'm calling for Dalton Kincaid to have in 2023. 60 plus receptions, which comes out to about 3.5 receptions per game, which feels very doable for him. 700 plus yards, which comes out to 41 yards per game. I think this guy is going to have a big play, almost a 20 plus yard play almost every game. I really do. I think he's going to come out and have some yards. So I think nailing 700 plus yards, 41 yards a game is very much in the realm of possibility. And I think he's going to have 5 touchdowns. I think we have enough weapons in the red zone that I think he's going to be one of them. Where I almost said Brian Dable. Oh my gosh. Ken Dorsey is going to be kind of work some magic and go back into his playbook a little bit and get some stuff for Dalton Kincaid. So I'm calling for him to have 60 plus receptions, 700 plus yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Nice, dude. I'm for it.
So
I don't think that's baseless. I think that's
right.
Nice.
I think that's Nice.
I love it.
In the realm of possibility, especially for all the targets and things that are kind of are going to be vacant in this offense. Like I think there's room for him to kind of slide in, not take too much from Dawson Knox. I think Dawson Knox is going to have an excellent season too, but I think that Kincaid is going to come out and have a really strong part of this offense.
Yeah,
for sure.
Go ahead.
No, rip off.
Go for the second one, brother.
I want to go for the second one because I'm on a roll. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Second one, I am incredibly excited to see what our secondary of Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, Christian Benford, we just found out today, and Taron Johnson, to see them work. Those boys have had time together. Marino just talked about it in his podcast today. These guys have been together since at least 2018, some of them back to 2017. Like, these guys have experience. They're coming in healthy, knock on wood. And I think like these guys are going to be coming cooking. Also, I'm thinking they're going to come in cooking because Sean McDermott is probably going to be calling a much more aggressive defense. I think it's going to open up a lot more windows for interceptions. So I'm calling for an entire secondary group to have the most interceptions since 2018. So the entire secondary, all the DBs, all the cornerbacks and all the safeties added together. I think they're going to have the most interceptions since 2018. The numbers. The last 6 years of Sean McDermott's coaching here in Buffalo. 2022, the secondary had 12 interceptions. 2021, they had 14. 2020, they had 13. 2019, they had 11. 2018, they had 9. In 2017, they had 17, which is a big number. I kind of forgot about that. 17 is a lot of interceptions. So I'm not calling that they're going to go and have more than 17 receptions. But in the last 5 years, they haven't had more than 14. I'm calling for 15 interceptions of the secondary this year based on what Sean McDermott's going to do in his new scheme and these players coming in and playing together, all coming in healthy. Knock on wood.
Yes, sir. Nothing fires me up like an interception. That's fun to watch.
Those are so huge, dude.
Nigel, why don't you hit us with some of your bold, baseless, bodacious predictions?
Yeah, I'll be real quick with these. First one, I think Ed Oliver is going to get at least 7 sacks this year. You typically don't see interior defensive linemen get a lot of sacks. However, Ed Oliver is a penetration style 3-tech defensive lineman. And I think he's going to be eager to prove that he deserves every penny of that contract that he just got and maybe was even a little underpaid. So I'm predicting at least 7 sacks from Ed Oliver this season, which I think would probably at least triple whatever he's done in the past. I didn't check that up, but
he has a lot. I think he's ready to play, so I love that.
Yep, at least 7 for him. And then second, I think with the addition of the depth of the weapons in the wide receiver room with Trent Sherfield, Deontay Hardy, and the drafting of Dalton Kincaid, who I don't think is really going to be much of a tight end, but is going to be that really big slot guy that just commands attention over the middle of the field. I think Josh Allen will lead the league in both passing yards and touchdowns. I'm calling the big year for 17.
I love it.
I think it probably won't be by a ton, but I think at the end, when it's all said and done, I think he's leading the league in both tutties and passing yards.
I like it.
I love it.
Go ahead, Jake. What do you think, buddy?
All right. So I don't have the numbers necessarily to back up like Tom did and Nigel did, but I have some more. I have some fun predictions here. First of all, I think, well, this might not be very popular, but it has a good spin in the second half. I think James Cook gets outperformed by his brother in game 1. However, I think James Cook has the far better overall season than Dalvin Cook. So bear with me through the front half.
All right. Yep.
Maybe not that bold, but the second one will make up for my lack of boldness in the first one.
Okay.
I think not necessarily the Bills being the target or the recipient, whatever. I think the Bills will be a part of multiple games, so more than one, that contain a safety. And I have no reason to think that. I just, you want to talk about stats and scoring and whatnot that make no sense. We can get into safeties another episode, but I'm going to throw that out there.
No, they're not even close to the level of hockey points. All right, so you can't.
Tom, we don't have time to get into that one. Don't get me started on being able to have half of a sack either. Let's not get into it today.
We're working up a Let's Go Buffalo podcast bingo board here of things, so we should work one up here. I like it.
Nice,
yes, sir.
Pals.
Tom, take us home, brother.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Hey. All right. Bills Mafia.
Hey. All right.
Here we go. Season 1, week 1 of the season. Here we are. This is it. The Bills are going to MetLife September 11th under the lights, Monday Night Football. we got to show up. We got to be there, and they need us. So tune in, lock in, raise your drinks to them, and let's go. Go Bills, baby.
Real quick,
We had a great
Bills.
episode today.
Tom, real quick. Let's get
yeah.
score predictions real quick for the Jets. Sorry to cut off your outro, but let's get score predictions real quick. I'm gonna say Bills dub 28-21. I'm gonna say. I think we get them by a touchdown.
I'm going Bills win 31-27.
Cool.
I'll go 36-28 Bills.
I love Jake. Jake is the wild card. I love that.
I do.
I love that.
Sorry,
I just don't know what I'm
With
talking
this guy.
about.
He's always looking. He's going deep. He goes scrolling down FanDuel. I love it. Well, hey, so everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Please go find us on Instagram at Let's Go Buffalo Podcast, on the Twitter X app at Let's Go Buffalo Pod. We'd love to follow. We'd love to share. Please share this with your friends, your family. This is how we'd love to have more people tune in and listen to us. And we appreciate you being here with us today. So, that's Nigel. That's Jake. My name is Tom. Thank you so much for tuning into the Let's Go Buffalo podcast. We hope that you have a lovely evening, day, or morning, whenever you're listening to us. Make sure to tune into the Buffalo Bills playing the Jets on next week, Monday, and we'll see you next week. Have yourself a great night.